Creation Station, and welcome to our very first LEGO set review. As promised, it's a Monkey Kid set, and here it is. The White Dragon Horse Jet set 80020. The White Dragon Horse, the Dragon Horse, is part of the Journey to the West mythos, which is right along with the Monkey Kid line. It's originally a dragon that was turned into a horse. Obviously, in this series, it is represented by this particular character. Unlike a lot of other sets, is usually the cast figures sitting on the top of the box. This doesn't have it. Now it's a medium-sized set by the looks of it this way. Well, if you look this way, this box is thick and pretty heavy. So the set doesn't look too big. Obviously, the pictures have been enlarged on it. So those are not Lego size. I mean, these figures may be about accurate, but the picture here is not. So, get a close up of the back, which shows some action scenes and shows a little bit of functionality. Doesn't look like there's too much going on, but I'm really excited to put this set together, and we'll see what other hidden things it has in it. It just looks amazing from the outside. I'm really excited to see what other things it has to hide. So, let's get to it. Let's go put it together. Here we have the contents of the box. You have the stickers right there. The book, obviously. Here's bag 1. Here's bag 2. But wait, there's more. We have bag 3, bag 4, bag 5, and bag 6. Yes, that's right. 6 whole bags. And here's a close-up of the sticker sheet. Not too many, actually. I'm disappointed because that I'm pretty sure is going to go on one of the shield pieces. Well, actually, it looks like a couple pieces might be going on the shield pieces. It's too bad they weren't prints. Yeah, there you go. I'll be breaking these down one at a time, and we'll look at the individual pieces and then go put them together. Alright, let's go. Here we see with its box, and as I said earlier, the scale's not quite right on the box. No, it's not too off by too much, but it's definitely bigger than the actual set. Here we have our cast of characters for this set. Now, as for myself, I'm not familiar with the show yet. I do want to get some time to watch it. So I wasn't familiar with all the characters. Now, my guess was, when I first put this together, we have bad guy, good guy Pat, and innocent bystander. Now, I ended up looking up these characters, so I know who they are. Just looking at this guy, our first guy, bad guy here, he does not give the impression of just a grunt. Like, he's got to be someone named important, and he is. He is Huntsman, although that's not much of a name, to be honest. But he's really cool, I got to say, with his foofy coat thing going on here and his ponytail type hair. That wicked looking sword. Pretty nice. Now, next we have May. And she's the one I was looking for. That represents the horse dragon. Beginning of this. And we have Mo, the Mohawk cat. Turn him sideways there so you can see his mohawk. Oops. Think about how to do this a little bit better. Should get a plate. Yep, so there's Mo the cat. Quite the funny name. Well, because I don't know more about the characters, I did look up their name, but he belongs with the good guys. And the innocent bystander actually has a name. His name is Sai. Not sure like how he plays in the story. Maybe he just is an innocent bystander. I know there's a lot of just kind of plainish looking characters in a lot of the Monkey Kid sets. You know, they don't look like fancy bad guys or good guys. But they make great pieces if you need them for just a town or something. They look pretty generic. Have some generic looking parts. You can always switch up body parts and colors and faces, etc. It's got some pretty heavy brow action going on there. So, now May's got that really nice sword, and I believe that is from the kind of Cyberverse Ninjago wave. Looks pretty cool. And then it's got the dragon hilt in white, which I don't know if there's been too many of those. I know they've had so many fancy swords in Ninjago. I can't remember. I know I've recognized the piece. I've seen it in gold. Speaking of gold, she also has pauldrons on her costume that are gold. That looks really nice. Does have gold. Her main color is white, but she's also got green and gold accents, and that's also portrayed in her vehicle as well. And for good reason. There's a couple reasons for that. I'll talk about that more when we get to the vehicle. But there they are. Let's turn them around so you can see their backs. Mohawk don't like to stay up. There we go. He's got that nice spider thing on his back. How's their backs? Nothing too fancy here, but it's needed. She's got some nice detail there. And let me take his collar off. You can see that better. No double faces on him. She's winking at you with her double face. Second face. And this guy is scared out of his mind. So, there you go. There's my figure. There's the figures. Now let's get to the actual set. Okay, let's go over some of the side builds. Start with primarily the vending machine. Now, I put the villain's little mech guy and him in here as well, because if you notice, that vending machine is the same color scheme as the villains. Now, I'm not sure if this is a story in the show or not, but it looks like, with what they have here in the set, that the villains have somehow corrupted or planted that vending machine there, and it somehow potentially has drinks in it that has some negative effects, maybe mind control or something like that. And to save that, because not only is this the same color scheme, there's drinks in there, and they use the tops use the dots, and one of the dots, or some of the dots, have spiders on them, which is obviously also a theme of the bad guys. So there's that little fun play aspect to all this. Other than that, this is also just a nice little, like, you know, you could see this at a street corner. It's got a nice lamp. There's a manhole cover back there behind the character. Can't see it. You know, a vending machine. Now, not only is it just a simple, it's not just a simple vending machine, because it is an actual functioning vending machine. If you can see here, the character's got, I thought it was a phone, I still think it's a phone, but it's a nice flat tile. Takes his tile, slides it through the hole, and out pops the soda. A little bit easier to do. And this is the sodas. You can see it's just a clear cylinder, and it's got a cap on it. Well, it's not one with the spiders on it, but that is a really neat function. What's also neat is this front here. This is not where the sodas come out, but this is just a long clear brick, and dots have been laid down in it to look like sodas that have been on their side. And there's 4 of these sodas in here, and they simply get dropped in facing upright at the top. It's pretty neat. This guy, he's really cute. Got the spider symbol there. It's not too much to the build, but you know, for a little creature, all 6 arms are opposable there and can look pretty cool. I've already talked about the bad guy. Moving on to the next side build. So we have Moe's little vehicle here. And, you know, well, you could put a regular figure on it. Probably make him look like he's surfing. Let's borrow a Psy for that. You know, you can go for a surfing type vehicle. You wanted to put your character on there. But what I find really great about this, if you don't recognize the shape, it's supposed to be a manta ray. And I find this really nice. And by the way, these eyes are stud shooters. They fire out pretty good. Most studs do. I'm not going to shoot them off because they'll go flying and I won't be able to find them again. There are not a lot of parts here to make something that represents a manta ray. I think it's very clever and very, you know, it's a small build, but it's got so much fun in it. You know, put a character on there, or it's just really great with a cat on there with a matching color scheme. Fly around, shoot things. Yeah. It may be small, but it's effective. Just like the little spider vehicle. Onto the main attraction. Here's the main set. Isn't she a beaut? Yeah, this is rather nice looking. You have cockpit up here. One negative to all this is got the character and put her in there. She lays down a bit, which you think is a bit awkward for flying this. But there is no place to put her weapon. That is a missing opportunity. It will not fit in the cockpit because she's so large. Now you could split it into two pieces, not because she's so large, because the cockpit is so small. You could split it into two pieces and fit it in there, I suppose. But that kind of defeats the purpose to have a weapon ready and to go. Now, this, look at that profile. Look at that. Looks very much like a horse, dragon. Really hard to tell. But dragons can have horse-shaped heads. What's nice is there are gold pieces on throughout this. Like I mentioned, her main color is white, but she has gold trim and green, which is why there's green on there. But there, where the eyes are actually the shiny metal, the ones that's been specially treated. So it's very metallic looking, opposed to some of these other things that are just regular gold plastic. And there is a really nice build design to create this head shape. It is rather nice. As far as articulation we got going here, these pop open like this. Though why you want to, I don't know. I think they're supposed to represent a mane a bit, so you want them looking kind of like they're down. Plus, an exhaust type system. Pattern on these wings are just amazing. Now, these wings, they click down like so. You can move them, but as you see, I can't. When you have it landed, you kind of have to have them up. So I guess they're supposed to be like that when it's landed. I'm not sure. And also we got stud shooter here, and one on the other side in the same location. And under the wing here is also a hidden shooter that fits these. Goes right through the back, and you can hit the trigger back here. And that's excellent for when you're flying it. You can hold on to it and easily flip those. Stud shooters are a little bit harder. You have to do that with your other hand almost. Turning around towards the back, we got this giant blade that I think is supposed to represent the exhaust from the engine. I mean, I don't know why else you'd have a blade like that on there. I mean, it's not really a vehicle. It looks like you can fly around and swing a blade from its rear end. If you wanted a blade on the vehicle, you'd probably want it hanging off the bottom or something. Now these wings, as cool as they aren't very good wings. Look how thick that is. Look how thick that is. That's what? It's got to be almost 3 bricks thick. Yes. That's not what you want really in a wing. Now, yeah, it tapers down here, but even still, for something that flies, you wouldn't want a wing like that. And I'm thinking that they call this a jet, but it's almost like it's a rocket ship with, some stabilizers on it, more than anything. Now, that's it for top side. Underside, not too much to look at, but there's this right here, and you could say it's just, a landing gear, or landing pad, which does sit okay, but as you see, it doesn't sit very well on it. Kind of rocks back and forth. But what this makes good for is this place to hold it when you're flying. Put your hand right there. Now, I have pretty big hands, so it doesn't work best for mine, but for smaller hands, this is a perfect holding place for flying. Let's take her up. See? Nice. And as I said, the shooters in the back could easily be shot from there, making this really fun to play with. Now, there isn't a lot of motion except for, like I said, these wings, which kind of act like a... I think they're supposed to be down when it's flying. It gives it a much more, streamlined, almost like a rocket. What this actually reminds me of, and I don't know if you can see it. You can see what I'm talking about. Is it actually sort of looks like a X-Wing from Star Wars. Because it's got the long front and then the back. Now they aren't like the X-Wing wings that fold up together and open up. But when you get it looking like that, you kind of have the X going there and there that the wings create. I don't know, maybe it's a reach, but that's my interpretation of it. So, a little more close look at that. Alright, let's head back to the desk and talk about some of the details and give it a final verdict. Here we are back at the desk, and I built a little platform here so you can show this off. Anyways, before I get any further, forgot to say that this set has 565 pieces and it's for ages 7 and up. Not that the ages matter too much. If you know your kids, you know what they're going to be able to take and handle. I know when I was a kid, I was younger than the sets that I got. Know your kids, most importantly. There's small parts, handle small parts, they're going to lose them, then obviously the set's not for them. They can't handle, well, the construction's not too complicated. No, not really that complicated at all, so that's fine. And I love how Lego now has the plus instead of an age limit, because I definitely was playing sets that I was older before. Still am. Anyways, so I have a rating system I'm going to start. It's a work in progress, but I think it works fairly well. It's based on 4 conditions. 1 is its appearance. 2, how fun it is. 3, its functionality. How does it work? What moving parts does it have? Things of that sort. And the 4th one is basically how it's constructed. Are there unique techniques that were used? Is it fun to build? Because building things, building a house where it's simply just a brick on top of a brick on top of a brick, that gets old fast. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes there's a place for that. But yeah, like this could easily have been done with just a brick on top of a brick on top of a brick, though it wouldn't have its functionality either. So let's give it overall. My thoughts, anyways, is I love this set. This vehicle looks amazing, but which is why initially I wanted it was for this, but the small builds are amazing. The vending machine here, that's totally blew my mind, to be honest. So let's get into the actual rating. Like I said, I thought it looked amazing, and that is still true. I mean, just look at this. You can tell this rather amazing ship design. Even the smaller models, which, like I said, when I first saw it, I wanted it for this, you look at the small side models, you just kind of don't pay attention to them. But when I put them together, they're great. I mean, this is nothing too amazing, but it's still fun. You know, it's a spider walker type thing. It's creepy. It's cool looking. Not much else to say about that. But so yes, I'm giving this a 10. Oh yes, the ratings will be 1 out of 10 gold bricks. So this, for appearances, is getting 10 gold bricks. Next, for fun, well, the ship is fun. It's got the nice handle. You can hold on to it. Can fly it around. Very zoomable. It's you know, got lots of ammo for fighting off the bad guys. Also, this whole concept here, now, like I said, I haven't seen the show, and it probably is. I'm pretty good at guessing story-wise how things are going. But yeah, so you got a story going here too, which you can play with, or you don't have to. That's the great thing about Legos. You don't have to play the story. So you know, even this little guy here, little flying thing, is the cat. It's really fun to fly around, play with that. It's got its own stud shooters on to fight the bad guys too. That's what's great about these little small stud shooters. They can go just about anywhere. I mean, including just sitting in a minifigure's hands. The vending machine, just, you know, sticking that little card in there and having the soda cans pop out, just that'd be fun for kids. I don't know why. I mean, they have dollar bill pieces that are just single flat tiles, which you could use that too. Besides this guy's payphone, I guess he's using his phone to pay. Anyways, yeah. So fun. We're going to give it. What did I say? Oh yes, we're giving this a 10 also. It's definitely a fun set. Now, functionality. Things that it does. This thing is amazing, right here, as I said earlier. It's dispensing soda machines. That's quite the amazing function. These other things, they're good. They, you know, they serve their purpose. It's a cool looking vehicle. It's, I mean, got the wing movement, which I guess could be considered going into, you know, fast mode is when the wings fold up and it makes it narrow so it can fly. It's got the shooting thing. It's got open and closed canopy. Other than that, though, it doesn't have a lot of functionality. I mean, some nice maybe fold down landing pads, some kind of transformability. And don't get me wrong, this is nothing wrong with what we got here, but I'm not going to give this a full rating. I mean, if it was just this set alone by itself, yes. I mean, imagine I don't know, if it'd probably be too big for a poly bag, but for a really small set and you just had a vending machine that worked, that would definitely get a 10. But overall, I'm going to give this a 7. Not a terrible score, and you'll find out when it gets to the end that we're going to average all these up, that it's not going to hurt it too much. So yeah, 7 gold bricks out of 10 for the overall functionality. Construction techniques used to make this. Okay. It's getting a 9. There's I don't quite want to give it a 10 because it doesn't use a lot of different techniques, but the technique used for the soda machine and the technique used for part of the ship here are quite unique, and I mean, this is practically genius. So I'm not going to give this a 10 because there could be more that could have been implemented. So a lot of this is straightforward building. I mean, there's the pattern here, but I wouldn't say that is overall really that great of a technique. This was far more interesting. But so yeah, it's getting a 9. we're going to give it a 9. Now, it's 9 out of 10 gold stars. We average that out, and the whole set is getting a 9. And we can do the math. I'll do the math. Probably here somewhere. But that's not the only rating. We are going to rate this on by price. Now, this is going to be hard, especially going forward with going to be a lot of prices going up the new year and everything else. So judging it, I may not always do the price rating. And it's going to be a separate rating than the gold bricks. So my rating scheme is, I got 4 different ratings. Get this down, I'm still learning here. Exceptional. This is the price per count and the overall. I'm not just going to do, just hold on before I get too far. I'm not doing just a price per piece. It also is the overall set. Now this set's got a lot of small pieces and it's got a good portion of larger pieces, so that balances things out so that the price per piece count is pretty good, or is easily accessible. Now if this was like a large mountain with a lot of giant rock pieces, that would definitely change how the price is going. Yeah. So exceptional is, you know, you're getting good money's worth, more than your money's worth. Then it goes down to goods, like you're getting money's worth. Definitely getting your money's worth. You know, get what you pay for. You're not getting anything over, you're not getting anything under. Then we have passable, which means it's a little bit lower, but the price isn't ridiculous. It could be better, but like this is a set, if you found it as small markdown, it would be perfect. And then you have fail. Fail is for the really bad price. It's not to say, you know, it also depends on your personal preference. If you're willing to put out the money for the set because you like the look or there's something about it, I mean, that's one reason why they do these reviews, so you can see things closer and make a decision before you buy it. I try to show as much as you can different aspects of it. So yeah, now for this set, it's getting a G. It's a good price. The price per count is great. And the overall fun, you know, the rest of the score, the other score goes into that price. You know, there was some thought and design to this that's part of that price, and it like I said, it's a good price, good deal. So the overall rating is 9G, and that is how I'm going to be doing things going forward. It might get changed. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments. But yeah, so that's my overall thoughts. That's the overall pricing. This set can be found at lego.com and is an exclusive to them. You will not find this in regular retail stores. You could possibly find them in the Lego store, though I know they've been clearancing out their older Monkie Kid sets, so you might not find it. There'll be a link in the description, so you could quickly purchase it if you would like. This video is not sponsored by Lego, but I do like to leave links to things if the products I am reviewing. I will be reviewing more Monkie Kid sets. I don't have all of them. I will be reviewing them later. First, I'm going to be doing some Ninjago sets. So there's that to look forward to. I want to do some more mainstream sets before the holidays. People can have an idea what things they might want to get. That's pretty much it for the review. I'm going to go into in-depth more on the pieces that are in here and some of the builds that are in here after. If you're not interested in that and you just want to know the basic thoughts, that's this. So if you don't stick around, have a good day, and remember, creativity is key. But if you're going to stick around, yeah, there's more to come. I'm gonna break down the individual bags and look at the pieces, and I'm going to also look at some of the creative building design for this. Okay, here we have the pieces from the first pack. We got our piece separator. It's interesting, it was actually in the first pack. They used to just have them outside floating around the box instead of in a bag. Anyways, this is probably mostly for benefiting people who do mocks, as they'll want to know what pieces are in here, if there's anything of interest. So, what things do have of interest? We have a light post. I haven't seen too many of them, but I don't have too many city sets, which I think those are more commonly those. We got a spider web. Those are pretty common nowadays, I think, with the Spider-Man sets. Nice big base plate. Always use base plates for whatever. This. I don't know if it's going to show up here. Got yourself a clear brick. Tall brick. Very interesting. That could be useful for lots of things, especially if you wanted something that looks like it was in the air. That's perfect. Have these strange kind of... Got two of those. Lots of pieces, small pieces. These are from the inner bag. A lot of printed pieces, a lot of printed 1x1 rounds. I doubt they're prints from the Dots collection, probably specifically for this. But I opened it, it reminded me of Dots. And you have this printed manhole cover. That is nice. I can't really, I don't know. I haven't had any of the new street pieces, but yes, I have clear cylinders. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, over here, along with the lamppost, I believe this is the light to the lamppost, and it's basically a clear yellow head from a regular Lego figure. And we have body parts here from a figure, but we'll look closer at those when we get them all together and get it all done. But yeah, alright, let's go put this first part together. This looks mostly like the side build. Here we have bag 2, quite a lot of pieces. Got a lot of bricks and plates in that aqua color. Some green plates, which I don't remember. I don't know if those are supposed to be part of the main set or not, because by looking at the pictures, it looks like there was a lot of side builds in this bag. There are a lot of these parts right here. Quite a few of them. Got some more bodies, got more characters in there. 2 bags of kibble, little bits and pieces. Parts for the minifigures. And some new claw pieces in the green color. That's different. And a lot of different little pieces in there. Alright, let's have it. And here's bag 3. Not too much notable in here. We got some of these and some rare colors. That's one of the colors of this set, so there's probably a lot of them. This is of note, of course. Probably about the most notable. Ooh, this. That is interesting. That's a classic print. I didn't know they still used them. That's most interesting. But yeah, other than that, there's not too much in here. Oh, we got a... Oh, that's just a rod. I thought that was something else. Some shooters. Not too much. Here's bag number 4. Not too much interesting. Once again, more green colored pieces. That aqua green. These are kind of interesting. The slopes angled. Now on the little parts pack here, we got some nice gold pieces. Have a gold wand for your Harry Potter, and these lovely dragon parts. These are kind of cool. Other than that, not too much. We got a wheel here, which I'm guessing is probably part of the exhaust system. Which means you're not going to be able to use it unless you get more than one for a set of wheels. But that's that. Here we have bag 5. Got some really large wing piece. This is probably the biggest wedge I've ever seen. Seen too many of them. We got these neat pieces here. We have another one of these. Said, what, 4 of those? Then we have another one of these. Come in handy. Over here we have the kibble pack. It's more gold pieces. Now these aren't metallic. I don't know how well they show up on the camera, but these aren't. These are the gold plastic. They're not the metallic ones. You got these. Get in close here. It's a spear piece I've seen before. I think used primarily in like submarine type sets. Spear for fishing. This looks like it's all one wing, which I'm guessing the sixth bag is the rest of the wing and whatever else needs to be done. Haven't seen the canopy yet, so that's probably in there as well. But there you have it. Okay, here we have the last bag. And now that we're at the last bag, this is bag number 6. Let me just say, there are too many bags in this. I think Lego could have packaged this a little bit differently and saved them some money. And I was right about this last one. It's pretty much the other opposite wing. So there isn't a lot of new stuff, but a grand total of 3 of these came in the whole entire set. This is a nice little piece. I think it's going on the exhaust. I don't really remember seeing it in the picture, but it's probably because it's on the rear end. It could be definitely used for a weapon, for a bionicle or something. Got our firing ammunition. Other than that, a lot the same. There's the windscreen for it. And pretty much the same thing for the kibble here. Although what's really cool about this is, since you get double bags, I always put duplicates of some of the pieces in there, so you will actually have 2 of each left over, most likely. Another one of these giant slopes. There you have it. And while I'm the subject of taking up excess space, the instructions are really big too, and the booklet is really thick. I probably could have used a little less paper. They did a little bit more in each step. It's like some of the steps are simply add 1 piece, or just a couple. But even still, they could have done a few more. I understand they want to make it simpler and easier, which I got to admit, it goes together quick, pretty easy when you got these small bags. It's easy to find things and it goes together quickly. But given the people that are probably interested in putting these together, both kids and adults. I don't think they really need to dumb it down so much. Like I said, they could save some money on the packaging too. Alright, so let's finish this up. One piece I didn't notice when I went through the bags was the top of this. Get it off here. It's this piece here. I mean, geometrically, it's pretty cool. Okay? It definitely gives that the manta ray feel. The front, nice and smooth. But look, can you see that? No studs. Oops. Smooth on top. No anti-studs or studs on the bottom. Just these peg hooks, which you can see here. Go right into those two holes. But yeah, I have mixed feelings about this. I mean, this isn't really part of the system, if you know what I mean. It can work, but you'd have to build some specifically with these holes to do anything with. So yeah, that's definitely an interesting part. Here we got the leftover kibble. Quite a array of pieces and quite some nice ones. We got a lot of these dots, you can see. You can add them to your dots collection, see which ones you need. There's some plain ones there. Got some gold pieces left over, a wand, and one of the the little spikes. There's a small claw or tooth piece, whichever you want to call it. Then there's the bigger green one there. And we got the lightsaber hilts and a little hook. There's enough stuff there. You could make your own small extra weapon out of all the parts. We have a brick separator. And although it's not an extra piece to the set, if you've already got other Lego sets, it's probably an extra piece in your collection. Over here, we have our ammo. And there are probably some extra pieces. I know with these larger ones, there's only 2 of the shooters for these. So there's at least 1 extra there. These are for the main vehicle. These are for the cat's little vehicle. Pretty sure there's well, I know there's just 1 double because it's only got 2 guns. But yeah, that's all the extra pieces. It's not a pretty good batch of them. Okay, now that we've assembled everything, we're going to disassemble some things just to show how things work. This is the vending machine, if it isn't evident. And this is what it looks like on the inside of sorts, since I've torn it apart. You can see right down in there. There's a hole back in the back and this little rail. Now, these are the sodas. And you put them in through the top and they would slide down. That fell right through. But when you have everything together, the walls hold everything in place. If I can do it without picking it up. Nah, I can't. But the cans sit right on that edge. And then you take your guy over here and you put this little thing in the slot, and when that happens, it simply pushes them off the edge and falls back in that hole, which then comes out the bottom. And then I think there's a little slope inside there, helps them roll out. That's all it is. It's so simple yet so effective. Just an example how don't have to make things complicated. And in fact, when you're making a toy like this, you don't want things too complicated because there's more likely something that can go wrong. This is so simple yet functional. It's practically genius. Now, also, I wanted to show you, this is the outside. All it is a long glass, or not glass brick, but a clear brick. And the little dots are placed inside. Just dropped right down in there, like so. Put your 2x1 on top, and everything's elected, and there you go. That's the front of the thing. Also very clever. Now, when I was putting this together, just putting the pieces in there, I'm like, okay, this is supposed to work. That's what it shows on the back of the box. This is supposed to work. Oh, maybe it's better with the glass because it'll sit in there. Yeah, see, it's sitting right on that edge. And as you put the guy in here, all it does is push the thing back and out it comes. You have to tip it up some. Of course, if you have the figure standing in front of it, it's not going to come out very well anyways. So yeah, that's a closer look at that. Next, we're going to look at the front of the ship. Here we have the front of the ship all taken apart. Let's see how that beautiful muzzle is put together. It's quite unique. Now, first you build both sides of it like this. Nothing too fancy there. I mean, there's some, you know, you can see the side of the muzzle there. Then what holds it together is simply a peg here, and you can see down here, that's where it goes into. And these are some large bricks in there, so there's plenty of room for that to sink down into. That's only a 1x1, it's only a plate in there, so it's not very thick hole, or the actual peg hole is not very big. There's a lot more space in there for it to sink into. Like that. We have the snows. There's the snows. Now, this is where I find interesting. It simply has two clips. Right there. You can see. And this we built into it using a wand piece, and all you do is clip it on. Yeah, let's pull these off because I think that's how it was put together anyways. Without those on, it clips in. Now there isn't too much movement there, and by the time you get these other pieces are on here, there's even less chance for it to move. And I'm amazed at how strong that is. I mean, it's really hard to pull out too. When you get that all together, and you put the top on here, and that is solid. It creates this beautiful shape here. Muzzle that you built was only from here to here. This underneath, cheeks, top of the head here, this is all a separate build. Got that beautiful gold piece in there. But yeah, that was really neat and quite a way to make something that doesn't appear to have, you know, too many studs showing, but gives you a rounded appearance. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show for its build.